everyone, it has been a little bit of a hot minute since I have done one of these chill kind of like crochet videos, but I decided I would do it because I have a market this weekend and I want to try and record a little bit more, just because it's a lot more spaced out, because I'm gonna be going and setting up on Friday and then the actual market is Saturday, Sunday. So it's gonna be a lot more spaced out. I'm assuming there's gonna be slow times, just like with Mother's Day, and then just with it being a market, and I've never done this market before. It is almost an hour away, so we're gonna see how it goes. But I decided I would try and film a little bit more, just like my life, and then heading up to also the market. So I have been crocheting like crazy. My desk is absolutely insane right now. I'm actually going to record a TikTok / YouTube short thing right now to finish up for Temu. Then we'll get crocheting, I guess, for the day, unless I get an idea for another short. But let's go record it and then we'll see what I'm gonna finish crocheting. I started the body of another like unicorn Pegasus type thing, so I think I'm gonna focus on finishing that up before I move to whatever next. I'm also trying to get a lovey done because I got one done, but I want to get one more done for the market this weekend. But it is Wednesday, so we'll see. So I just finished filming the video. I'm being overtaken by flowers, but I finished the one video and then I went ahead and did another short about some of the crochet flowers I've done, and this is just a few of the roses and sunflowers that I made for this upcoming weekend, especially with it being Mother's Day. But I had it on the table, so I was like, you know what? I'm surrounded by flowers. That's how it is right now. So I'm gonna start editing those videos and then I'm gonna figure out what I'm gonna crochet for the rest of the night, and then I also am making dinner, so maybe I'll record me making food. We'll see, we'll see. Alrighty everyone, it is still storming, still raining. My vet hasn't been able to come yet, but we're gonna work on finishing a few things. I got 2 turtles done this morning using extra parts, but it is storming and I wanted to try and give you guys some different angles, but honestly, my room is chaos. So bad. I'll show you my table just so you can understand. This is what my table looks like. You don't want to see my floor because it looks even crazier. But I feel like whenever I get through a market, like leading up to it, it's just like utter chaos everywhere. I can't keep things straight, and then after the market I will like clean, get my yarn reorganized because it's like literally all over the place. I think I'm gonna work on finishing up this unicorn levy, and then I also have some turtle parts, so I might do that. I might go ahead and sew the Pegasus wings on this guy because it's definitely something I need to do. I have all of the wings right here for the extra one too, so I actually think let's sew some wings. Well, hello everyone. It is Friday, 8:30 p.m. I was able to go to the market and set up today, and I got like a few video clips of it and everything. Admittedly, I haven't even done the market and I am already so exhausted. So it's gonna be very interesting to see how this weekend goes, considering that it's 2 days. I think I've mentioned this before, but markets for me are not as easy as they might be for other people, just because I have a lot of other responsibilities outside my markets, and I'm very, very thankful that I have been able to find someone who can help me with some of those responsibilities with having a equine facility and having a boarding facility. The plan, I believe, tomorrow is the market is 10 to 6, and then Sunday it will be 11 to 5. There's also a farmer's market that's going to be going on, and I think one of the main streets is going to be closed or something. I'm not 100% certain what that is, but I do know that they said that one of the streets will be closed. My plan is I can't get there before 7. It took me about 40 minutes to get there today, and that was with traffic. I think it's like 20 something miles away. I'm kind of familiar with the area, but it is literally like smack downtown. I'll probably get up at like 3:50, 3:40, and I will put my horses outside, clean my barn, trying to get as much as possible as done, and then I think what I'm going to try and do is leave at 6:30. The parking situation is like horrendous at this market. I didn't realize it because I have not been in this downtown area before, but it is pretty bad. I definitely want to make sure I get there early enough to get like a decent parallel parking spot, so I'm not walking like a couple blocks to the actual market. So I'm gonna get there probably about around 7. I think that's when it opens. I have basically like my tent up, my table's up, I have my boxes already out there. I didn't leave them up. I had set them up, but then I ended up putting them beneath my table cover just because it is literally smack dab in the park and there is a lot of people walking by, a lot of kids walking by. Just there's a lot of traffic just with like people in general. So I didn't want to leave it out, and I did not bring my side covers because I just don't really like to use my side covers, and there was people's tents like flipping up in the air and I was like, oh hell no. So I did not bring my side covers. So I also didn't really want to put that much out. Like if somebody grabbed a box, I really wouldn't care. I'm really tomorrow just going to be like putting everything out and getting it organized. But there were some people there that already had like full on everything, like all of their products, and I really cannot imagine leaving all of my stuff outside overnight, even if there is security. Like, I'm not trusting it. I think I'm gonna get there around 7, probably 15, I think 7:30 at the latest. Get everything set up. I have my mother helping me per the norm, so I might have her walk around and secure me something to eat, just because I'm gonna be starving and it's gonna be a very long day. But I'm really hopeful. Supposedly this does have food trucks, so I'm just gonna try and like keep my energy going and then hopefully not crash out too bad after the market, because I will like, you know, unpack and everything and then drive home. And once I get home, then I will go and take care of my horses again, because I have someone coming to do like the 11 o'clock, 2 o'clock, and then I will handle the night check. And then Sunday I will rinse and repeat. I am not going to crochet because I've given up on the concept of crocheting. I broke my hook again. I had already broken it once and I broke it again. So I am just not really going to be fixing this until Monday. So I think I might bring some yarn to do some flowers because they're pretty easy and I don't have to bring like stuffing and safety eyes. So I feel like I'm going to do that. But in general, I'm done with crocheting. I've given up on the concept. There's nothing I can do and I'm not going to even try. So I'm going to download some of the videos that I've recorded, get some editing done, but ultimately I'll crash because even if I go to bed at 9, that's literally like 5 to 6 hours of sleep. I will see y'all tomorrow. Pray for me. Good morning, everyone. You're on the phone camera. I just did not feel like pulling out my legit camera to record this, but it is almost 8 o'clock. I've got my beautiful Dora the Explorer all packed up and I'm getting ready to head over to the market. It starts at 11 today and goes till 5, but I don't have as much stuff to actually set up. I sold out of a lot of things yesterday and we're just gonna see how today goes. Yesterday was a really good day. I think I made like around 1,500, maybe more, not certain, but I'm gonna take all my remaining stock and gonna set it up, see how that goes. Surprisingly, it's a lot more bigger things that sold this market than smaller things, and I had made a lot of small things, but that's just how it is sometimes. So it's pretty morning. I have a tank top on under this, but it is like 50 something degrees and I don't really like the cold. But I'm gonna go. It's a 40-minute drive, set up everything, and then wait because I will probably be done early. And I'm not certain how busy it'll be Sunday morning. So I'll see you guys at the market. Ending video. Well, hello everyone. It is Monday after the market
And even though I'm gonna be doing a market overview video at some point, like I'm not certain if this vlog is gonna come out before that or what the release schedule is gonna be. I wanted to come on here and just like give a very brief overview or my thoughts on the market and a little bit more like other details, because my whole concept around these vlogs is to kind of show you guys a little bit more of my thoughts opposed to like just trying to produce a 15 to 20 minute video. A lot of times in my videos I edit a lot of stuff out, so the whole concept behind these vlogs is like maybe to make a little bit longer content, more in the like 30-minute range, maybe even longer, and then like be able to express things. And I also bought some things at the market, so I will show you guys what I bought as well. Overall, I have not been able to sit down and actually like count everything. I did do a better job writing down everything that sold and for how much. I think like Saturday, I feel like I missed a few things, but Sunday I did, I think, pretty much all of them. I maybe missed one or two, I don't think so, but I definitely know for the next market that I need to count my cash beforehand, because the hardest thing is Venmo and Square is much easier for me to track, but this market I definitely had a lot more people paying in cash, and that's just my hardest thing of like figuring out how much cash. So a lot of times I just kind of like round it up in my head. I would say that if my number is kind of correct in what my brain is thinking, I would be about, oh my dog, I would be in the $3,000 to $3,500 range, which is like absolutely insane. That would be the most money that I've ever made. The Cumming City Center market I just did, I think I was around $1,500, and then that Cumming City Center one I did in November, I was $2,500. This one, I think I was about like $3,000 to $3,500 because my Square was basically at $2,000, and that didn't count Venmo or cash. And I got a good deal of money on Venmo and more in cash. So I haven't been able to sit down and actually kind of like calculate the numbers, but that's kind of what I'm thinking for the ballpark, is that $3,000 to $3,500 range, which is mind-blowing to me. I think I went to the market with like 9 boxes, and I was able to get like most everything back in like 4 or 5. Some things I had made like a ton of, like I'd made like, you know, like 20 chickens, 20 roosters, all that type of stuff. So I had a lot of like extras from that I had just brought along just in case if I sold a ton. Definitely have a lot of crocheting that I need to do. Some things I just like completely sold off like Saturday. Within like an hour or two, I sold out of some things, and other things I like thought I had brought enough of, but then I didn't, evidently. And it's always the fun thing with markets is, for anyone who's ever considering doing markets, when you hear the numbers that I make, I think it's very important to realize that like I don't make it every time. I've only started making these numbers now that I am doing legit markets. When I was doing the farmers market, I was not making this much money. I was usually making like $100 to $300, maybe. That was like a really good day, but like $100 was about the amount I was making. There wasn't really like much advertisement. There really wasn't much of a fee to get in, versus these past couple markets. I think pretty much every single market I've signed up for, the cheapest is $125 or $150. This past market was $125, so that's the cheapest I think I've done. And then the highest I've paid has been around $250. So the entry fee is definitely a lot more. I am choosing areas that I know have a high population and a population that is probably more willing to spend money. So just a town area that has more money to it. And I think those things definitely help. Paying the money to get into a better run organization or market, and just making certain you're choosing the correct demographic. Because if I were to go like south of where I live, there's no way people would be spending money to buy crochet plushies, because it's just like, why would you spend the money on it to that demographic? Because maybe they don't have as much money to have the option to be able to buy something small like that. So all things to think about. Another thing I always would say is, I guess I would consider myself to be a little bit more full-time with the crochet world. I live at home with my parents. I do a lot of things with my parents. I don't have a set job. in terms of like a 9 to 5. I have a job of running a horse business, and that in itself takes up a lot of time. But because I am my own boss in both realms, I can kind of set up my hours to work. So I have a little bit more time to crochet than the average person, which definitely helps when it comes to these markets, because I feel like one of the big things that separates me and allows me to be able to hit higher numbers, it's just the sheer quantity of items that I have. And I'm not saying maybe necessarily like, okay, like my chickens, like, okay, I made like 20 chickens. Not necessarily in that realm. It is the ability to create so many different items. If you were to go on my sheet that I create, which I can show you guys, this is the sheet, or I should say sheets, that I make before my markets to basically write down quantities, pricing. It tells me like if I need to make a certain color, all that type of stuff. But I just want to point out that I basically have 6 sheets of paper here that are filled from top to bottom with different items. And these are also not just like, even if you see here, this is not like, oh, one of each. This is like, I have 3 of these type of frogs, and I have 8 of these ones, and I have 22 chickens, and I have 4 penguins, and like, that's just how it is throughout this. So I have a lot of quantity of different items. And I think that is also one of the reasons why I can drive a little bit more sales. This past market was a little bit, but there were a lot of crocheters. I think there was 4 other crocheters besides me, and literally I felt so bad because I had one that was like set up directly across from me, and one directly behind me, and one row down, and we were just all in the same area. So I'm not really certain what happened, but it was a very small amount of vendors in this show to begin with. So somebody must have literally just like not tried to cut down the category, or they should have cut it down more, because there was just so many crochet people. And I know the person across from me definitely didn't sell as much as I did. One thing I noticed at her table is she had very few quantity of items. It was just like the standard mushrooms, bunnies, dinosaurs, octos, those type of things. One of the other crochet people did have more quantity. She was a little bit like me and just having more options. So I think she had a decent day. I didn't really have time to talk to her, but I do want to just say, like, one of the things that definitely helps me accomplish these numbers is the fact that I do have so much quantity in so many different animals. And every single market I attend, I always try to remake everything that has sold. And then on top of that, I always try to add 2 to 3 new items that I make multiple of for the new market. And I just want people to realize that is probably not possible for a vast majority of people. So when you hear the numbers, don't be like discouraged or anything. Just know that I'm a very unique situation that I do not take for granted, and I'm extremely thankful to be in this situation, but don't compare it to yourself at all. The reason I give like my numbers is just because I've had people ask in the past, and then they want to know like what to make, and I always also try to say like what I price my items at. So I try and do it more as a education side of things, but don't take it like you're a failure because you're not reaching these numbers, because I definitely have not reached these numbers until recently, and I could probably go to my next market and make no money. That's the thing if you're gonna do markets. It's like you can have your best market ever, and then the next market, you can have your absolute worst market ever. And then the market after that, you could have your another one that's like absolutely terrible. It's just, you never know what's going on in the world and like what people want to spend money on and all that type of stuff. So I definitely have a lot of restocking to do. And my next market is June 9th. So I've got a couple of weeks. I am gonna have to really push myself, but the next market is not a 2-day one, and it's only 6 hours, and I've actually never done this market before, so I'm kind of skeptical about how busy it actually is because I've never been there, and I'm not certain if they have another crochet person or how many crochet people they have, so I'm a little bit skeptical about it, but that's kind of where I'm at. But I want to show you guys some of the 2 things that I got. Well, I guess technically 3, but I'll show you guys what I got. So if you didn't know, I'm a very big cat person. If you've been following my channel for a while, then you would know that like my original videos I used to do, and I'd have my cats in the videos too. Now they're in a separate room just because with a yarn, I try and keep the minimal cat hair. But I wanted to get this. An artist had it and they were selling it, and I really want to try and get my yarn room to have some better vibes. It used to be my brother's room, but I want to kind of spice things up a little bit, so I wanted to put this and have it behind where I sit, so that way it would be like a different background than just like a blank screen or blank thing. And I love the cat, so I saw it and she only had one of it, and I like bought it the first day. She was my neighbor, so I was like, oh my gosh, this is absolutely perfect for my YouTube videos. So I got this. Then I got these 2 small things. I don't know the artist for the picture because she didn't give me a card or anything, and I didn't really see anything written on it. But these 2 things that I got here are from Dreamkinz, so it's Dreamkinz. And when I saw them, I was like, oh my god. Clay was something that I really wanted to try and get into, but I just didn't have the time to sculpt. And I thought these things were the cutest things ever, and I want to put them on my desk. So they'll also be like in the YouTube videos and stuff. But I got this one, and it's so freaking adorable. It was a snail that's like strawberry themed. I'm not really a strawberry person per se, but like it's so cute. And look at its little expression. Oh my gosh. So I got this, and I do have to say her setup was like such a vibe. It was like this whole forest theme. She was dressed up too. It was adorable. If I had like a really niche item like this, or if I had the space and the time, I would totally like want to have that type of setup because it was so cute. Like it was one of those setups that you could not walk by simply because of like she had it like it looked like it was in woods. It had like tree branches. It was crazy. But I think she typically does cons, so. And then this is the other one I got, which this is a cinnamon roll snail, which was so cute. I actually saw this one first and was like, okay, I really want the cinnamon roll snail. And then when I got there, I was like, I really want the strawberry one. And it was the last strawberry snail. She had like 4, but this was the last one. And I love the expression on those because it reminds me of like when I make things and I make their different faces. So I ended up picking up that one. And I thought that for the artwork and everything, it was very affordable. I think this guy was like 38. I think the other one was like 35, 38 or something. So all in all, I was really happy. I want to try and make my other room upstairs a little nicer and have a little more personality to it. So I went ahead and got those 2 things. But that's pretty much all I have. I think I put a lot of different clips into this video, and I don't want to go too long, but like I said, I'm not certain if this is coming out before the market overview or after the market overview, but you can always check out the market overview for a lot more detailed breakdown as to like what I sold, how much I sold, my orders, all that good stuff, because since I did write it down, I will be able to individually go through each order. I think I had like, oh gosh, I must have had easily like 100 to 150 orders. So the ones that I did write down, I will actually go through and say like, hey, somebody bought it for this and this and this and this. It will be a very long video, but if you want the overview, it'll be out. Maybe now, maybe later. But I'm gonna start getting back into crocheting and doing all that fun stuff. So I hope you guys have a good rest of the day, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.